This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
We are a Disc Golf Answer Man Network podcast. So, Jeremy, what did you buy this week?
Well, I didn't buy any discs this week, but yesterday Discmania came out with the Eagle McMahon and Simon Lizotte Championship Sunday jerseys. So I bought the Eagle McMahon one. It's like this really cool, it's waves. And so I bought that one. I didn't like the Simon one as much. It was like like a chevron? It's blocked out black and then red on the bottom with kind of like a chevron pattern. And I was like, not as cool, but the Eagle one I bought and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely not as cool as our team jerseys we finally got.
Definitely not. Those are sweet though.
Yeah.
And then I have an update actually about another purchase. So last week I talked about buying the new Drew Gibson discs, the Era. And so I forgot, it's a pre-order, and I forgot when it was actually coming out. So I went on Infinite, tracked my orders. It's coming out in late February, early March. But when I looked at the order, it said Discraft pre-order. So Discraft
is molding
Discraft, yeah. I mean, not confirmed, but that's what it seems like. So
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
That's why he's calling it the mid-range. I'm surprised after he
this is the
this is the fairway.
Yeah.
But the next one, it's called the mid-range.
Right. Yeah.
So he's released that. I wonder if it's going to be a buzz.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Yeah.
It could be close numbers.
Yeah, maybe just alter it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess I usually do the shop updates, but that's the only thing I've... No, I lie. I bought something. So
You bought something?
I did.
Did your dyed disc come? Is that what you...
No.
Okay.
Actually, Jordan bought it for me.
Oh, all right.
So with airlines now, how crazy they get for charging for carry-ons or, what do they call it? Checked bags.
Yeah.
I decided that for another like $40, I just bought another cart and I'm going to leave it in Vegas. Since we have the house out there, we basically have a disc room in Vegas.
Okay.
So we are going to go ahead and just leave that out there. So
nice.
Yeah, Jordan actually has a cart out there. Now I have a cart out there.
Okay.
So all I had to do was just pack some discs in a bag and that's what I'm taking out there.
That's awesome.
Along with my underwear and socks and things like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, underwear are optional, but I think I'll still take them though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I bought that. So that will be a thrower, or I will use it.
Yeah.
So out at Vegas.
Just throwing your cart around?
Exactly. Throwing that thing around. I don't know if it's PDJ legal, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So I'll be using that out at Vegas.
What kind of cart is it?
I bought the compact. Just a black on black
Yeah.
compact. I was looking for the I was really hoping they had the Yuli because we bought it from Lucky.
Yeah.
I was hoping they had that Yuli one where it's like a white and a black.
Is that one out?
It's gorgeous.
Is
I
it?
thought it was, but they didn't have any, so I just bought the black on black compact. And out there, you have drivers and putters. That's really, it's wide rim stuff. You maybe carry one or two mids, and that's it. So we don't need a ton of room like we have up here where like half of our bags are mids and putters and approach discs. There, like I'll have two tactics, my putters, probably a Comet and a EMAC, and that's really it. So
nice.
Yep. So that's what I bought. So I did buy something. So I'll skip to the shop update, or I'll push that back to the end. So stick around. We got some good stuff coming up. So let's have a recap real quick. First off, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah. And it kind of did come down to the wire.
It kind of did, yeah. Like I was really surprised. The game was actually a little closer than I thought. I thought the Rams, the way that they were just beating up on Burrow and getting to him, that they really wouldn't have a chance. There was definitely some missed calls that both teams kind of got away with.
Yep.
That should have happened.
Well, there's the big offside controversy from the very final play. Well, not the final play, but the final play that could have got Burrow the first down for the Bengals. And
the obvious face mask. I forgot who. T. Higgins, I think, was the one that ripped the face mask of Jalen Ramsey, and that got him free for the touchdown. Then there was the down when the Rams got onto the kind of close to the goal line. There's a number of calls that were called. There's maybe a pass interference that wasn't such a pass interference, and then helmet to helmet hit. But then there was another offsetting penalties and yeah.
Did the helmet to helmet hit get called, or was it not called?
It was called,
okay.
And then whatever the other play was, I think it was holding. There was just offsetting penalties, so they replayed the down, and then the final play, I saw a picture, like a wider screen picture, that Jamar Chase had actually beaten Jalen Ramsey. The play where like Burrow got spun around by Aaron Donald and he was about to throw the ball. Jamar Chase was wide open. Jalen Ramsey had actually fallen down on the play.
Oh.
And if he'd gotten him the ball, they would have scored a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I kind of expected essentially a rookie and first-time Super Bowl. I mean, great. Awesome. I loved watching it. He came out hot in the second half.
Yeah.
Especially after sitting out and watching the halftime show. Did you catch that?
That was the kicker.
Oh, that was the kicker. Oh, I thought that was
no.
Okay.
Yeah, he's.
I caught the tail end of it. I was like, was that Burrows watching that? No. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was their kicker, but he was he was money during the playoffs. He's really good. But yeah, it was just funny seeing him out there. He's like, yeah, why not? You know?
Yeah. And that's pretty. I mean, that kind of speaks volumes to
how
specialties.
Yeah.
And that's the nature of it. And, playing in college, they were always kind of off on their own, doing their own thing, right. Kickers and punters, and
even for the introductions in the beginning when the teams are walking out of the tunnels, it was offense, defense, and then special teams was like kicker, long snapper, and like I don't know what the other position was. It's like, oh, that's really nice. They got the special teams guys some acknowledgement as well,
Exactly. Well, I would have been happy to be that guy. So I had a scholarship opportunity at Hawaii Pacific just to be a long snapper.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had too much ego. I wanted to play the game. Like, no, I'm not just going to put my head down and snap a ball. Yeah. Like, how dumb of me. But actually, I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I mean, I'm not unhappy, but it would have been cool. I bet you probably, it would have given me a better chance to make woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I heard too that Burrow went down like on one play and saw him like holding his knee. I think they said he was playing the rest of the game on like a sprained MCL.
Yeah. Well, and pretty ironic. I mean, 2 back-to-back drives or series, Stafford.
Yeah.
Basically the exact same injury.
And then I felt bad too because I think it was Odell Beckham had caught a touchdown, and then later in the game he went down with a knee injury. I think not even later in the game; it was like the next quarter he went down with the knee injury, and I don't know if it was the one that he had injured earlier when he was with Cleveland last year. He went down with the knee injury. I don't remember if it's the same knee or not, but nice to see him get a win. Like, people kind of called him washed or whatever. But
he's been in the league for a long time, and to get that, and I don't know if he's at retirement age or not, but
he's still young.
Yeah, I think he's still got a couple more years at least. But yeah, he's been in the league for a while, 14 years or something like that. Or
Beckham?
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Stafford.
Oh no, Stafford. Yeah, Stafford 13 years.
13. Okay. Yeah, he might have a couple more years, but
I think so.
Yeah. So
especially with the Rams.
So enough about Super Bowl. It's about disc golf, I guess. All-Star recap. So the only couple things I saw. I watched, obviously, everybody's seen the McMahon putt to win it.
Or no, that was the tie.
Yes.
Calvin had to hit like a 25-footer, 20 or 25-footer to seal it.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one live. I watched the long drive, which was awesome.
I watched part of that, yeah.
And, Drew had some bombs. He just couldn't get him in the fairway.
Just out of bounds. And they had that one tree kind of down the way a little bit to contend with, so you weren't just throwing straight out. You had to contend with that tree. And
they had to be golf lines.
Yeah.
I mean, they truly had to be golf lines, which I appreciated that instead of just like out of Vegas. You play these huge Anheuser swooping, and as long as they can find the disc, they're marking it.
Right. That's what I thought too. I wasn't sure how it would run if they would just hold it on like a open,
like a driving range.
Where it's just maybe they set up some out of bounds or something where like a regular golf long drive where you're like, okay, you go out, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it was interesting. I mean, Garrett Gurthie's bomb was unbelievable.
It is
unbelievable,
and it does not look like he is putting that type of effort in. It's not max effort. It doesn't look like it.
It's the spin he generates on the disc.
Just incredible.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
And I don't remember. I think I was listening to Nick and Matt today, and they're like, man, if they had a drone for that competition to watch, like, Garrett Gurthie's put out numerous videos where this guy's like following his disc, like drone flying.
Well, he did a commercial for
the jerky.
Double G jerky.
And so there's a guy too who was doing, I think it was on OTB. He's got like this VR headset thing almost, and it's a racing drone. It goes up to 80, 90 miles an hour or whatever, and it follows the discs. That's really cool to watch.
And it's neat to see the stall in the air when it starts to slow down and hit that fade. I mean, it's really cool to see that in the air. But so watching all that, and who it was, Calvin and Katrina's team, right?
Yeah, took down victories.
Yep.
Right.
And then Gurthie for the long drive. And McMahon's team came in clutch with the putting competition, correct? And then the accuracy, that's the one I didn't catch.
Nico took it.
Nico did?
Yeah. I mean, and he was on, I think he was on Eagles. He was the last pick.
Okay.
And he ended up on Eagles' team.
Right.
But yeah, he scored the most points for his team. And then James Conrad won the putting. And I think he was on Calvin's.
So was Yuli a factor in it at all?
Yuli was putting. Because he and Garrett Gurthie were wild cards.
Yes.
And so they were later added, and Yuli ended up on Calvin's team. I don't know how much of a factor he was in it.
Because obviously Gurthie was a factor.
Yes.
And then Gurthie and, I did see this portion where Gurthie and Yuli head-to-head in the singles, and Yuli got absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
I think it was like a 6 or 7 stroke difference.
Yeah. Did you see the, it was Ezra and James Conrad, the Eagle?
Yes.
Where he threw down that roller. That was pretty wild.
And then James hit the stepper. It was kind of automatic. You looked at it and like, that's within Conrad range. And that was awesome. So it was good. So as much grief as we gave it, awesome. It was exactly what I expected it to be.
The Nico ace was pretty spectacular as well.
526 skip ace. Huge hyzer.
Yeah, it was awesome because it just went out on the right side. You see it disappear behind some foliage. And then boom, skip right in, and he just went wild. Just running around.
Yep. I happened to just turn it back on, and I was watching it live at that point. And they were talking how Mattio's 3 up and blah, blah, blah. And then boom, skips and hits. And I was like, no way. I had to rewind it 3 or 4 times. It was really awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And we got to see Nico had mentioned that he's now sponsored by Gateway and a new company, Clash.
Clash, yep.
And I think they only have about 5 or 6 molds, so he's filling the rest of his bag with Gateway.
Yeah, and it's all food.
Yeah.
The Clash, it's all food discs.
I was on the PDGA website. There's one called the Popcorn.
Yep.
And something about cherries or avocados, or I don't remember what the disc names are. Yeah, they were interesting.
They were all just food names. And it was pretty cool. I mean,
I think mint was one. I was
like, the mint was one of them.
How are they getting away with that?
Exactly. But, so let's talk about the Mike Trout, Cookie Rojas of disc golf.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Mike Trout, he's you explain Mike Trout.
California Angels player. He's been an MVP candidate ever since he's come into the league. He's a 5-tool player in baseball. That's run, catch, throw, hit, field. He has the complete package, as they would say. He doesn't pitch, but I'm pretty sure he probably could if he. I mean, I look at who's Shohei Ohtani too. He's a California Angel as well. He came over from Japan or Korea. I forgot which one, but he pitches and he plays the field. So he's in the rotation. But he was the Cy Young and a Gold Glove winner, and so he's pretty spectacular as well.
Yeah, and Cookie Rojas is a 60s player who is now, we just looked this up, so don't act like I know this guy this well, but just look this up. He is a commentator now, a Spanish commentator for Miami.
Yeah, the Marlins.
Is that correct? For the Marlins, yep. Yeah. So, or Florida Marlins, excuse me.
Yeah.
But back in the day, he played every single position. So
throughout his career, he played all 9
So
positions.
he was a catcher, a pitcher, and every other field position there was. So he kind of did it all. It didn't matter what. He just said, "Yep, I'll do it. I just love the game. I want to play, so I'll do it."
Yeah.
So between those two, so you're looking at one of the deadliest people, no matter where you put him with Mike Trout, and the same thing with Cookie Rojas. He'll do anything you want him to do. So he's that multi-tool.
Right. Swiss Army knife.
Exactly, the Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
So when you look at that in disc golf, who would you consider to be in that realm? Now, I know we can take the low-hanging fruit and say, Macbeth and, blah, blah, blah. Let's stay away from those big names. I mean, we can talk about them, of course, but the one person that comes to mind is Matt Oram.
Sure.
With that. And the reason I think that is because he's a fantastic putter. Mm-hmm. He's unorthodox. He's a fantastic putter. His approach game is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And he can still throw 550, 600 feet. Mm-hmm. So, and his mental game, from what I know, is on point. It doesn't seem to collapse.
Right.
He's great in front of the camera. And he is just such a likable character. I mean, outside of broadcasting, as far as commentary, I think that's the only thing I've never heard him do. And maybe he has.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard his.
But that's the only thing I've never heard him do.
Doing commentary at all. That's interesting.
Yeah. So that would be the person that I would focus on. And of course you get Sexton. You have Big Germ. Mm-hmm. And I think Sexton is probably in that same realm. I think he can fit all the bill. He's above average in every aspect of his game. He is a person that is great in front of the camera, great behind a microphone. I mean, he sells discs like no one else, literally no one else. And so I look at him as one of those guys. If I owned a disc golf company, well, I guess I do own a disc golf company. If I owned a disc golf manufacturing company, he would be a person that I would push, or I'd want to try to push, anyways. So, who do you think is in that realm for you?
I mean, it's somebody we're not going to see a ton of this year, but everybody knows him. It's Simon. Simon Lizotte easily is that guy to me. I mean, he's charismatic. I've never heard of a person not like him. He just comes across as a very open and genuine person. Yeah. For one,
you're about to hear the first person. No, I'm just
and we know he throws far. He putts well. I mean, you see him. He sells discs. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he's in that realm of someone that can do it all. And maybe someday he'll have his own company, or who knows, or his kid's gonna come out on fire when he eventually starts playing. And,
right. That'd be awesome. He's already PGA.
Yeah, he's already.
Yeah, awesome. And congratulations.
Yeah.
Good job, Simon.
And Natalia.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, for me too, I mean, I don't want to pick low-hanging fruit, but obviously Eagle. Mm-hmm. But here's the crazy thing. So Eagle, at the All-Star event, this is crazy to me, he parked the 360-foot hole left-handed. He's right-hand dominant. Uh-huh. He's skipping part of the tournament. He's skipping March. Basically, he said that he wasn't comfortable with the power or, the strain he would put on his right arm playing forehand. And here he goes throwing left hand 360 feet. Like, that's what I max out at. You know? I've maybe touched 400 a handful of times in my life. And I'm like, oh, it's just too easy.
And it's probably casual for him. He probably still has more in the tank.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it is just mind-boggling to me.
He's pretty good in front of the camera. I think he still is slightly awkward in front of the camera.
Yeah, I think so, too.
I still enjoy watching his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Still awkward in front of the camera. Moves discs.
Yeah.
Hence the Iron Samurai 3. They produced a ton of them, but they still sold a ton too. So,
yeah.
Who is the person that is missing one thing that could be the Trout or Rojas?
Oh, one person that. God, I don't want to.
It's like right on the fringe.
Yeah.
So I can go if you want me to.
Yeah, go.
I think I'm KDJ USA.
That's who was in my mind.
Yeah.
Because I know he does commentary, I think, for GK Pro. Like, and you see
I've
him,
heard him before.
Yeah, I've definitely heard him. He's on the OTB skins. Like, anytime you see him on there, he's very charismatic. He's very funny. Like, he is.
I love his mic'd up rounds.
Yes,
they're awesome.
Yes. But yeah, he's just on the edge of like staying consistent and being a top 10 player. Like, he's just outside.
What's he missing, in your opinion?
I mean, that's obvious. He's got distance. I think staying on his feet.
Yeah, is that balance?
Yeah, balance. Yeah. Sometimes you see him just cage some putts here and there that you're like, but he's got the jump putt, on point. Like, he can bomb putts from distance, but every once in a while you just see him lining up a putt, that straddle putt, and he just cages one, and you're like, that should have been a pretty easy.
Yeah, they should be automatic.
Yeah.
Some of them that he's missing. I'd say that, and I also think he has just a slight. Now, keep in mind, this is coming from an amateur, but I think he has a control issue.
Sure.
Like, I think he's slightly offline quite often. So I think there's a bit of a control or accuracy issue that he has. As far as his up game goes, I mean, it's even hard to say because he throws so far that he's usually jump putting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his accuracy game is what lacks, but you said putting, and I think that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
For him to be that all around great player. But yeah, there's a couple other individuals I'm sure that we could pick out. So how about on the ladies' side?
Ladies' side. I think for me, someone that I think if Kona gets her putting down, she can be that person. Like, she's messed with her form, she's had her putting woes. She has the distance. She's a good upshot thrower. She's very good with her social media, good in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And I think if she can just dial that in, she has what it takes. And she's still young enough where she will.
Yeah.
And I think getting comfortable with the new discs, I'm sure she's on her way, or she is, but to clean that up, I think that's...
Well, I think having EMAC as a coach, captain, but someone actually teaching her how to get the spin putt dialed.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest spin putters in our recent history. I think that's going to help a lot. If you hear a buzzing in the background, I think it's my air conditioner heater.
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit.
Which is a ductless. It's not supposed to make noise. So, so I think you hit it on the head with her. I think Katrina's one of those individuals too.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if that's necessarily low-hanging fruit, but man, if she can solidify her putt, and I don't even know if it's her putt, I think it's her mental game. Is that fair to say?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I think you're pretty spot on, because it's one of those things, like, she can nail something outside of the circle, and then she gets in the circle, and it's like, okay, what's that, like 5, 10, 15 difference getting closer to the basket that you're like, maybe it's just that she thinks she doesn't have to give it as much effort, or much spin or whatever it is, and it just ends up short, or whatever.
Well, it's like a confidence. We play with a bunch of people around here, and I've noticed that when you're not confident with your putt, you're afraid of the comeback. So you end up either putting huge loft on it, or sallying it and hitting the front of the cage, or whatever it may be. Or you decide I'm gonna loft putt, or why can't I think of the proper name for it?
Pitch putt?
Yeah, you're gonna pitch putt nose down so it doesn't go far past the cage. When that is an art, the pitch putt nose down, like the Ricky putt.
Yep.
Or the used to be Ricky putt. That is a fantastic I guess weapon to have in your arsenal, but people use it as a comfort thing. Like, I don't want to be far away from the basket. I'm 20 feet away, so I'm going to throw it really low, nose down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to end up right at the lock. And it's fine. I mean, you're not picking up a stroke, but that confidence, just being able to, like, I'm going to spin it right in the chains. Like, and I think with Kat, I just think that's in her mind, or can be in her mind at points. So yeah, that's what I think for the ladies.
I was trying to think. There's someone else that I was thinking of for the women, but I just can't. There's somebody.
Yeah, because like Ona's good.
Yeah,
I mean, she's fantastic.
Putting.
Yeah. And you look at, the top ladies like Holcomb. I think it's just a lack of, because she has a forehand. And I think it's the same thing you would say about backhand dominant players that don't have a forehand.
Yes.
Forehand dominant players that really don't have a backhand, a controllable backhand or serviceable backhand. I think that's where Holcomb's at. But, she doesn't do any of the media. She doesn't do anything like that. So I think she's even further removed from being that all-around player. And
I look at someone like Haley, and I think sometimes she might just let her emotions get a little bit of her. Like consistency-wise. Like it's weird because she competes against the big names and she can win, but sometimes, but she wins sometimes when those big names aren't there. Like, a lot of times she was winning NTs and like Paige wouldn't be there, or Katrina, sometimes they just don't show up. So, but we know she can compete.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think, she's a younger player transitioning into, and I'm going to air quote, adulthood.
Yeah.
I'm not insulting her. I'm just saying that there are life changes that are going on right now between, living with your parents and transitioning to living on your own, making your own choices, making your own money. Like all those things are hard for people to go through. And these are just things that no one can tell you, no one can coach you. You just have to do it and experience it. And I think with her, she's doing that to the max. Like she's having a harder transition than I ever had in my life. Because I had the safety and security of the university's campus that I was living on. And then, she's just traveling around. Like, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, she moved to, I think, North Carolina with, like, her sisters. Yeah.
Yeah, I know she's living in a stable, but, it's just one of those things. Like,
but you're still on the road.
It takes time, and you're in these new places and traveling. And so, with her, I think she's just on the cusp of being that person as well. So, if not even surpassing that and being being considered the GOAT, I think that is in her future.
Yeah, it could be.
Her TikTok game is on point. I don't know if you've seen that or not. Her TikTok game is on point. Even Instagram, like her social medias are good. When she's on camera, she's still a bit reserved and shy, but with confidence, that stuff will start to change. I've never heard her on a mic, so I don't know if she's ever done any, round recaps or anything like that. But yeah, I think she's good. So, all right, skip ace draft. Let's talk about how that went for us.
Yeah. So last week after we recorded our normal episode, we got together with a bunch of the Door Disc Golf guys and Mike Harrington, who's our stalker / friend.
We'll call him super fan.
Yes, yeah. And so I'm the commissioner of the league, and we got the 8 of us. Oh, and my son Dempsey. So we had 7 of us, and then my son Dempsey, and we did a skip ace year-long draft. So just like a normal fantasy, NFL, baseball, whatever you're into, you go round by round. It's a snake draft, and you just draft best players you possibly can. And so you earn points by how your players place. You want to end up with the least amount of points, I guess, for this. First place would be 1 point, and then you go down, based on points that way. I felt bad because my Dempsey, we did a little randomization, and he ended up with the first pick, and he gave me this list of players, and he went into his favorites and ranked all the players and everything. He was telling me who he wanted, and all of a sudden I was like, are you sure you don't want Ricky? He's like, yeah, whatever. And I talked him into it. And then as soon as I hit the auto draft button, who's he get? He gets Eagle.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? But so he went. Yeah, he told me that he went in and favorited all his friends, or all the people that he wanted, and so he was happy with who he ended up getting.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I want to talk about is the atrocity and the lack of respect and the slap to the face that the 5th round pick or the 5th pick was Macbeth. What type of lack of respect is that in our league?
It's crazy, but I think he's skipping a couple tournaments.
Yeah, well, he's only skipping 2 as of right now.
Okay.
And he's doing Vegas.
But I still don't think he's playing as many tournaments as some people, because when he's going to Europe for the European Championship, but I think while he's there, he's taking some extra time to put in a course there. Yep. So I don't know if that's going to take away from him playing more tournaments here on the tour or whatever. But
yeah, and I don't know, because usually D-Glow is about the same time as that European swing.
Yeah.
But D-Glow is a Discraft. I mean, the Discraft event.
Yeah. Leadstone.
Well, yeah, Leadstone. But I think Leadstone is the Leadstone event.
Yeah.
And that's truly Discraft.
Right.
But yeah, I would be. It's still absolute disrespect.
It is. It is.
That
he dropped that far.
Yeah. So my draft, and you guys can grade me to yourself because you have no way to get it to me. But so I went young.
Yeah, you did.
I
noticed after Macbeth, you took if this was, what was it, what's the draft called where you keeper league?
Yeah, the legacy
league
drafts.
Right.
Yeah.
You would be set up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I kind of took that approach only because I feel like these guys are going to be the grinders and they're always going to be in that top 10 range.
Sure.
So I'm hoping for collectively season wide that it's just going to be lower points. But I got Macbeth as my first pick. I was number 5, so I was right basically dead in the middle. And then I had Burr, Rathbun, Zachariah Johnson, Brody Smith, Austin Turner, and then Culver Dolan.
Yep.
Is who I got. So I only have one player above 1030. The rest of them, my next highest player is 1028 with Austin Turner.
Okay.
So I went with good, solid players that are always going to be in the mix if they have a good day. So now it's just who am I going to bench, for Vegas and stuff. So I got to figure out exactly what I'm going to put together for Vegas. I haven't even thought about it yet. But Paul Macbeth will be benched for Vegas.
Yep.
Because he's not going to be there. Although Jordan Zacek, who's out there already, saw Paul Macbeth and Chris Dickerson and Jackie Chan playing at Sunset.
Oh, get out. Mm-hmm. Well, I know Chris Dickerson just filmed it in the bag that way. Or maybe, I think he was out in California, but he's out. Yeah, definitely out there.
Yeah, I know. And I asked if he walked up and gave them all hugs and the good game pat. He said no, their security got to him first, so he couldn't do it.
Anna was too much for him.
Exactly. Well, that's what he said. He goes, no, I didn't want to disturb him because it was like Jackie Chan and then did I say Jackie Chan? Yeah, that's his name.
Jackie Chen.
Chen, sorry, not Chan. Chan is the movie.
Yeah,
the actor.
Chris Tucker there with him.
Yeah, exactly. Man. So, yeah, but it was them and the wives and dog, and he was just like, I don't want to get in the middle of something like that. Jordan, he's not gonna. Yeah. I would have been like, hey, what's up? So it probably would sound like that too. All right. So who'd you get?
Okay, so I had the number 3 pick. I took Calvin Heimberg.
And not Paul Macbeth, who was still available.
Right. I just know that Calvin was playing a lot of tournaments, and that's what I was going on. It's like if max amount of points possible. But
hearing excuses, I just want to see action.
Drew Gibson, Joel Freeman, Bradley Williams, Corey Ellis, who's going out full time this year. Mm-hmm. My steal is Simon once he comes back. Simon Lizotte. I'm surprised nobody picked him up because I feel like he's going to play well, even though he hadn't played, he's still going to be up there. Yeah. And then my flyer was Vino Makala.
Oh, nice.
He's a prodigy player. He's going to be coming over here for a couple stops, going back to play in Europe, and then he's going to come over for Worlds. And a couple other.
Because I was tempted to put Linus Carlson.
Yeah.
I was really tempted to grab him because he was sad. I think he's still available.
I think he is too.
But it's just the lack of the tour. It's that same thing. You didn't pick Macbeth, but mine is an actual legitimate reason. But yeah, that's the reason I didn't pick him. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I mean, with all of us, there was FaceTime. We were in person.
Yeah.
And the BS that was going around and people harassing me about Brody Smith that I had to pick him up since I'm on his jock. And
so, have to, but it did make for like,
yeah. Well, it's like I gotta back up my
You're
talk.
A believer. Yeah.
I believe. And I've seen some practice. He's looking good. Don't disappoint me, Brody.
The one thing I will say is that so we have we know quite a few people.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of, I don't want to say the lack of knowledge, but like the amount of people's names that people didn't know after like the top 20 or 25, they're like, oh boy.
I think it even started sooner than that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just one. I mean, there was 4 people in our group that were like, oh,
yeah.
He sounds cool.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's a good pick. Like there's legit like a couple people that I wanted that like went off the board. I was like, man, I didn't think anybody was gonna take him. I thought I could have like stolen them in like a later round. Like,
well, like Marweed, I was kind of holding off on Marweed, and then he got snagged.
Jordan snagged him. Yeah. And then someone I had put down, I wanted AB, and I forgot who. I think maybe Bjorn got him, or maybe Jordan. I don't remember, one of those guys.
No, that was Caden who got him.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's a couple guys I was like, oh, shoot. So I just kept checking them off, you know. But I don't know. I'm happy with my picks. I think it's solid. Like I just think I have a solid team.
Right. Well, and the beauty of the trash talk that's going to ensue. I mean, I think all of it's just going to be super fun. And we have, what did we end up putting, $25 down per person?
Yeah, 25 per person. And then the winner is going to get a custom dyed disc, and the loser is going to get a loser disc.
Yes, that's right.
And then the loser also has to come on the podcast and get trash talked by
absolutely.
all of us.
Yeah. So we'll have a big end of the year, and we'll just berate this individual as much as we possibly can.
Yeah. And I'm going to feel really bad if it's Dempsey. Because,
hey, you agreed for him, so
yeah, I guess.
You're his dad.
Yeah.
Come on, he's 11.
He'll be 11.
Yeah, so he can handle it.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll keep it PG at least.
Yes.
We will.
All right. Deal.
Yeah, so that was our Skip Ace draft. A really intuitive system. I think Johnny V did an awesome job. It was a little confusing starting out because you didn't have the draft option and all that stuff until it was your turn.
Yeah.
But super easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will say this: it does cost money to be in that type of league. It's a $10 league to get to be in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So any other league on there, unless you do like a weekly league, but you want to change some things around, that's going to cost you a couple extra dollars to have a custom league. Yeah. But yeah, so it's gonna be cool. I'm excited for it, and this is just a trial year. Maybe they'll add some more options, different scoring things. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, and a reminder: Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. There is a Pick'ems League on Skip Ace.
Weekly Pick'em.
Weekly, and then it's TAZG, TAZG is the access code. So get on there, and at the end of the season, we will have a giveaway for the winner.
Yeah, $50 door disc card is what the decision was made.
So, and that can be used either via digitally or come on into the shop. Use on anything, no limitations. So, and if you know certain codes that are out there, you can also get free shipping on top of that. So, now let's go to Jordan's question. No, let's go to picks. Let's go to our Vegas picks. What are our Vegas picks going to be? This is so exciting. So for MP40, I'm picking myself to win.
Ooh.
No, I don't.
MP40.
MP40.
I saw that too for the Springtime Open. I was like, oh, he's going to MP40.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Well, I was always on the cusp of MA1 and MPO, and I told myself no matter what, I was either jumping to MPO last year, and I didn't because my rating and just my play time and everything, it just tanked. So I just decided, you know what, I am just going to make the jump into age protected pro, and if I have to jump back into non-age protected, I'll just jump into MPO. I don't care if I get slaughtered, but I don't need the discs anymore. I don't need anything like that. And in all honesty, I mean, I'm never going to be bottom of the pack at MPO. Like, I'll still be middle cut around here.
Yep.
if I did it in Vegas, it'd be a whole different story. But I think in the MP40, I'm confident I'll make the cut.
Nice.
I'm confident I'll be in the top 40%.
Yeah.
You know, but then outside of that, who knows? So I'll make my money back.
Sure.
That's confidence talking right there. So, all right. So, what are your picks for Vegas? Who are your picks for Vegas? We'll do 2 men, 2 women. How about that?
Okay.
Who we think is going to be up there. So Las Vegas Challenge starts next Thursday, the 20-something.
Yeah.
And it is held at Wild Horse Golf Course. There are 3 courses there, all 18 holes, and they are all, I think the shortest one is just shy of 9,000 feet. And I think there's one in 9,000 and one just touching 10,000 feet, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
I just got the caddy book, and all the changes they made look like they're just changes that were kind of needed for either safety reasons or they were soft par 5s, like they had that close to 1,000-footer.
Yeah.
Almost a soft par 5.
It's probably
they just turned it into a 4.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think some of them, when I was looking at it, that makes sense because I've played this would be our 6th year we've played. Sponsored every year. Door Disc Golf is sponsoring
a hole
as well.
Nice.
Yep, we have actually 3 holes and then a mini event that we're sponsoring.
Oh, wow.
So it was a pretty good, we put out some
cool
moolah for it, but worth it. And it is just an absolutely amazing event. It is always the introduction of the Halo Destroyers, and it will be Heimberg Destroyers this year.
Yeah.
So there'll be the Halo Heimberg Destroyers. This will be the first time you'll see them. We'll also have the release of the LVC Sexy Bird, so the Sexton Firebirds, which will be the first introduction of the Firebird for the season.
Yeah.
And they already have lines and quotas and all this stuff that who can get them, when they can get them, how they can get them. It's crazy. So then we have, and it is a 4-day event, first 3 days guaranteed to play. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then on Sunday, you have to be in the top 40% of the field of each division to be able to play.
So MP40, are you guys still playing 3 courses?
We play all 3 courses. So we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all different courses. We usually start on Infinite.
Okay.
And then go to
Factory.
Innova, then Factory Store.
Okay.
No, excuse me. Innova, then Factory Store, then Innova.
Yeah.
And then we play Infinite again on the last day. Because usually MP40 and MA1 are on the same courses anyways.
Oh, right on.
So, so over the years. So, yeah, I have like Bamba Rico and Steve Rico and all that stuff that I'm gonna be playing up against them. I mean, there's a couple more, like Ray J's there.
Yeah.
There's a couple other larger names in the MP40 division. So I'm excited to get out there and play with some of these guys for the first time. So we are it looks like we're being carded by PDJ numbers, so that means Jordan and I will play together.
Oh.
Yeah. So who were your picks for MPO?
All right.
Dang it, I'm on the wrong thing. Go ahead.
I'll say number 2, I'm going with Eagle McMahon, last year's winner. I don't know if he will follow it up. I'm pretty confident that he'll play well. And then winning it, I've got Ricky. I think he's going to come up with a bang to start the season off.
I like that. Okay. I'm going to put... Okay, I'm going to go with Ricky for number 2.
Okay.
And I am going to put Eagle in the 1 slot.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think that the forehand is going to be as pivotal at Vegas as anywhere else, so I think he's going to be fine. And the small forehands that are needed would be on infinite course, and they're short, and he has a left hand to compensate.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, Calvin, I think, is going to push in that direction, so I'm going to put him as my honorable mention.
Okay.
So I think he could potentially be in that mix. So I think we're going to go 2 Ricky and then 1 Eagle, and my honorable mention will be Calvin. Do you have an honorable mention?
Kyle Klein.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. Okay, so FPO, who are you thinking?
Okay, this is hard for me because I feel like Paige might win, but I'm gonna go with
Paige
Pierce. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Evelina taking it down, and then Paige right behind her.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Tater.
Yeah,
Kristen Sitar, and as taking it down, and I'm actually gonna put. Is Chris Allen there? I know Jennifer's there. So Jennifer Allen's going to be my honorable mention because she's a bomber.
Yeah.
And as long as it looks like her putting yips are done, and she hasn't lost a tournament this season yet. So I think
that's a good.
I think she's pushing in there, and I don't see Christina Allen. Am I wrong?
Christina Allen? Katrina?
Katrina. Oh my goodness, Christina.
You're making up players as we go?
So she's my Yeah, I don't see Kat.
Yeah, she's in there.
She is? Where? Oh yeah, there she is. Okay, so then I'll do Katrina Allen, and as my number 2. And my honorable mention will be Jen Allen.
Honorable mention, Jen. Okay.
Yeah.
My honorable mention is going to be Missy Gannon.
Ooh, the cannon. Okay.
Yes.
I like it. All right. So we'll talk about Vegas plans then. So Jordan and I are going to be out in Vegas. I actually leave on a flight tomorrow, and I get in, and we're going straight to the municipal course, which is the lit night course.
Yeah, are you leaving later in the afternoon?
Yeah, I get there about 4:45 in the afternoon. Okay. So I'll probably be ready and out of the airport after, getting deboarding and all that stuff, or deplaning.
I thought you said deporting.
Yeah, after deporting, after deboarding, which is not a word, but we'll use it. So after disembarking from my journey, I will probably be out by about 5:15. We're going to head straight to the Muni course, go play the Muni course, and then the next morning we'll get up and we'll probably go straight to Wild Horse. And play the morning course, but right now, anytime, they've already closed the course down in the afternoon, so at noon or after you can play. So maybe I can't go to Wild Horse right in the morning, so we'll probably go play Sunset, go hit Lucky Disc Golf, and then head over to Wild Horse because it's all kind of in that same area.
Sure.
And go play. So we'll play a couple rounds, and I'm going to try to be smart and only play, 1 to 2 rounds, not full rounds, not multiple shots, just I'm going to play lines and throw 80%.
Yeah.
My old shoulder can't handle the bombs that are out there, just flatland bombs. So that's kind of the plan. And then we plan on once probably Monday or Tuesday hits, we're going to devote all of our time to Wild Horse and learning the new holes, figuring out our throws, because by that time both of our arms will probably be back to about normal, and we'll decide whether I have my 350 power or my 450 power. It just depends on what's out there, how my timing is, and if I'm hurting or whatever it may be. But I will have to say that you should buy stock in some ibuprofen brand because I'm about to use a lot.
You should get one of those Theraguns, like the massaging guns.
Yeah,
I thought about getting one as well.
They look so aggressive to me.
They do, but I've heard they do wonders.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could, because when you're out there, I always so our daily process. I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but our daily process is get up. I usually make the house breakfast.
Yeah.
And then we go and disc golf. And then we take about a 10:30, 11 o'clock lunch at PT Gold's, which is like a sports bar pub that's around there. And they're everywhere in Vegas. And we play Golden Tee.
Yeah.
We'll probably play 2 or 3 hours worth of Golden Tee while we're sitting there eating our lunch, drinking. And then we go back out and play disc golf. Another round. Usually we pick a short course.
Okay.
Or play 9 holes or just do something. And then we come back to PT's, eat our dinner. And then because we're not by the house, because the house is over on the other side of Vegas. And then we'll go back out and we'll probably hit the Muni course.
Okay.
And then so we play 3-4 rounds a day.
Oh.
This year it's going to be different. We're not going to do that because I told them last year I was dead by the 4th day because I made the cut 4th day. My arm was noodle. It was horrible. I was still able to get decent enough distance, but when it came down to like those last couple long holes and things, like I'm like putting everything I can into it, and I'm just touching 400 feet. And all these young guys around me are throwing like 450, 500. I'm useless. I'm just the old guy that can throw straight. So, but we have a lot of fun out there. And the community out there is awesome as far as disc golf goes. Here's a pro tip. Stay away from sunset anytime, basically prime day. Towards the end of the day is good, but you got to get it before dusk because the vagrant population starts to claim their bedding. So middle of a fairway, there's, a sleeping bag and a gentleman or woman in it. And so it's a really nice course. So it's fun to play. It's an iconic course. I guess one of the first courses. I've just heard recently like 77 is when they put in the first 9 baskets at sunset.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty old course. So, or the first 9 holes at sunset. I don't know if they were baskets, but so that's our plan for Vegas. So we're super stoked, super excited. I love going out there. People may think it's weird, especially if Paul Macbeth is like, I don't like going out there because there's too many courses. I wholeheartedly disagree because I'm not a pro.
Yeah.
And I've only competed as an AM, and the AM purse or packet player packs are phenomenal. Mm-hmm. They're like 400 or 500% the worth of your entry fee. We always walk away with bags, 7 or 8 discs, just crazy amounts of stuff, like pyro minis, usually a couple other minis, hats and shirts, and just on and on and on. It goes on and on. We fill, usually every year we fill one of the hero bags full. There was one year where they gave us trash bags, like 55-gallon trash bags. You could just throw all that stuff in. I don't know if they were 55, but giant black trash bags that we could just throw everything in.
Dang.
Because it was so much stuff.
That's crazy.
So, it's just awesome. And I think that's good to an extent because I think a lot of that money obviously is not monies they're spending. It's monies that's been donated, which can add to their donation cap, which is awesome. I think it's awesome. And the Fly Mart that's there is always pretty good. Obviously, it's an Innova event. So you don't get the variety of discs, and I don't throw a ton of Innova. So, for me to get a disc if I lose something, or I'm always going to Lucky.
Maybe they'll give you some special Dong Rebel.
I would love a Dong Rebel. I want, I didn't order them, and I don't know why, and I think they're available still right now, right?
I think so.
Yeah. And I love FDs, so to have, one of those Dong Rebels, I would love to. I'd love to. It's a dark Rebel, by the way, but the Dong Rebel is better. So that's basically our big plans for Vegas. So when I go out there, we will have a small hiatus as far as live-ish or new recordings, correct?
Yeah.
But keep an eye out on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. I'm going to try to do as much stuff as I can, even just in stories on Instagram, just to show you my adventure. And I'll start tomorrow morning getting on the plane and go from there.
Nice.
They're pretty strict with what you record out at Vegas.
I remember they made a big deal of that. Was it last year?
Yeah, with Brody and Paul. Brody and Paul.
Because all of a sudden they started you had to get credentials to start.
$5,000.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So they do say that all footage that is taken on property they have rights to.
Okay.
So if they see you record the holy shot, they can come up to you and say, hey, I want that. And you can't refuse them. So not saying that you can't have your own copy, but who knows? If you get into that legal mumbo jumbo, like it's kind of crazy. But they say everything except your personal cell phone, but they still have the rights to the media itself.
Okay.
So because it's a private course that they're purchasing, they have the media rights for, and I understand it. And it's a business decision.
Yeah.
But in the same regard, like, man, get it out there. Let people share it. Let people take videos. Let people, get excitement about it.
Exactly.
And they'll say, well, we fill anyways. Yeah, but every event fills. Why not get people more excited about it? Because
I can tell thousands of people that they have rights to their meet. Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy. And I don't think anything will ever end up happening with it. I think it is those things where you have, famous YouTubers like Brody. And, I think Bobby had said he went out there once and then he went to go out there again. And, there was a fee for it, and all media pays fees. And so there's nothing bad about what was said, but it's just like, is that worth it? $5,000 for me to go out there and get maybe 2 videos?
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to do the best I can to get as much of the secret footage of checking in and doing stuff like that. I'll probably just hold my phone and take some videos here and there. So keep an eye out on that on the door_disc_golf Instagram. And then we do have a TikTok now. So you got off TikTok. I'm on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm not posting videos, but I check to see what's on there every once. And I did see I saw something pop up with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's coming along. It's crazy. The amount of traction TikTok has. The growth is incredible. I just started posting about 6 days ago, and I already have, I think, pretty close to 300 and some followers.
Wow.
Just like that.
Wow.
I have no clue how. And I'm just reposting at this present
stuff that you had put on Instagram.
On Instagram. Yeah. With the Instagram watermark and everything.
Sure. Because I know when you post on TikTok, it'll say the drop, there's a little menu that'll drop down and be like, oh, hey, you can do it to all of these other social media platforms.
Yeah. And I never touch those because I know that if you post from TikTok to Instagram nerfs TikTok videos.
Oh,
so you don't get the same engagement. Okay. So really my native platform is Instagram, and then I push everything out from there.
Okay.
So until I get a little more time to put into the other social media platforms. So that's going to be Vegas. So keep an eye out on that stuff on all our socials, and we'll get some stuff out there. So here is the question from Jordan.
I feel like we need music for that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll work on that.
Yeah.
You're the one. Excuse me. You're the one that edits.
Yeah.
And we need some sort of like the Christmas donkey song. Have you ever heard that? Dominic the Christmas donkey?
I think so.
It's like a boo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo,
yeah.
doo-doo. Yeah. Anyway, so would you rather have a foot-long nose or a nose-long foot?
Well, okay, so my first, if my sinuses get better, a foot-long nose wouldn't be so bad. Then I could breathe. I have terrible sinus issues, but
open up the passageways.
Yeah. But then your nostrils are 8 inches long.
I know. Can you imagine? I don't have a big nose at all, and I'm self-conscious of the bats that are in the cave as it is.
Yeah, right.
And the hair that grows
the forest,
in there.
Yeah. Let's see. But if I had an inch long, or as long as a nose long foot, I couldn't play disc golf. If it was my brace, you'd be flipping over. So I don't want to be called Eagle Beak or anything either.
Exactly. I mean, you'd have to be seriously concerned about hitting people with that thing.
But I think with the nose long foot, there could be a lot more complications that would come along with it.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think you'd have to walk with a cane. You couldn't put weight on a foot that small. You'd be walking on an ankle.
Well, but I think we could assume that your foot-long nose or your nose-long foot would be strong. It'd be strong, like the strong hand. Some of you that get that, you're my people.
Yeah,
just so you know. So Jordan says,
I don't want to. Yeah. Okay. I want to hear what Jordan has to say.
This is profound. Are you ready?
Okay.
I would rather have a foot-long nose. I want regular feet. That's it.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Okay.
Rhinoplasty. Like if I'm born with it and like all of a sudden I can change it before people really get to know me. Hey. Yeah.
Well, that would bring a new meaning or new use for the lawnmower. You know, from the Manscaped lawnmower. Like you just get in that bad boy. It wouldn't have to be as hard to get through. By the way, if you hear us, hit us up. And so, man, a foot. Well, okay, so I'm going to give two answers.
Okay.
I'm going to qualify one.
Oh boy.
As I sit right now, my wife will love me no matter what. So I'll take the foot-long nose because I want regular feet and I want to be able to play disc golf. But if I was still in the dating game, no way I'd take small feet because you can wear prosthetics.
Oh, that's
So I'm thinking that I would take the feet. And there's some fast guys in the Paralympics that don't have feet.
That's true.
So I think you could still work with it.
Right.
So that would be my answer.
Do I go with the Humpty Hump type nose?
I forgot about
how I'm living and my nose is large.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go nose as well. And then,
was he in the Haunted Mansion? Did he do the very last, they did this big, like...
No,
what was that?
Okay, so it was a movie with John Candy.
Yes.
And Demi Moore was in it, and Dan Aykroyd.
It was this crazy pseudo horror.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And what was it called?
John Candy was this judge. Or no, not John Candy. Dan Aykroyd. He was this judge. And what happened? And so there's something called like the bone collector or the bone something or other. And like basically these people would fall through a chute and they'd shoot him out this thing. And like all you'd see was bones come flying out.
And I remember them hiding in between the walls because there was enough space between the walls.
Yes.
That they could,
yes.
Yeah. Oh,
but Digital Underground appeared in that. They got arrested for something. And they had to go before the judge. Yeah.
Yep.
I watched that movie so many times when I was younger, but I don't remember what it was called.
And then the credits, they did their Humpty Dance.
Yeah.
They did the Humpty Dance for Digital Underground. That was awesome. If you understand that, you are our people.
Yes.
So, and for you younger population out there, go look up Digital Underground. The lead singer of Digital Underground did not have a nose. And he wore a prosthetic nose, correct?
No, he had a nose, but...
Was it?
So Shakji, the lead singer of Digital Underground, was actually Humpty Hump.
Right.
He had a nose. But...
Oh, see, he got me.
So he just had it was just part of the whole get up. And Humpty would be around, but like Shakji wouldn't be around, and Shakji would be around. Humpty wouldn't be around, and like, I think it was something to do with MTV Raps. He was telling the host at one point, he's like, just so you know, I'm Humpty Hump. And then they had to bring him in, or they'd do some kind of crazy editing to show him kind of both in the same.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tupac was part of them too.
Was he really?
He was a backup dancer for a while, and then he started rapping with them.
No way.
Mm-hmm. If you look
these are things I don't remember.
If you look in the Humpty Dance video, they'll scroll by one point, and he was a backup dancer and singer, and you'll see him in the video. But yeah, he got to start backup dancing for Digital Underground.
Oh my goodness, that is awesome. I can see. I got to go back and watch all this stuff, like the original Dawn of the Dead. The original Dawn of the Dead. Do you ever watch that?
Yeah.
And one of those stupid horror movies.
Wait, are you Evil Dead?
Evil Dead, excuse me. The original Evil Dead, not Dawn of the Dead. But even Dawn of the Dead, that was still great too. But the original Evil Dead, I remember watching that. So my brother's slightly, he's 6 years older than me. And I remember him and his buddies were there, and I was watching it. And the one part I remember so vividly is, there's two parts, but the one that I liked the most was they were laughing like crazy. I was scared out of my mind in this movie. And I was maybe 6 or 7.
Okay.
And when he gets hit by whatever it is and he goes spinning through the woods.
Yes.
One of the funniest moments, now that I think about it and I've watched it, one of the funniest moments, watching my brother and his friends just die laughing. Was that 2 or was that 1? That was 2 because Evil Dead was so bad
that Sam Raimi came back and made Evil Dead 2. Like,
yes,
it's not that Evil Dead 1 was like that bad. Evil Dead 2 just was like funnier and more like not slapstick, but
I think so. Well, they really pushed it in the next couple.
Yeah. And then I like Army of Darkness. That's the third one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah. Well, and they did even what's the new, because his name is Axel
Ash.
Or Ash. That's
so they had a series Ash versus Evil Dead. I forgot how many seasons it is, but they're working on doing another movie, I think.
Yeah, because they had like a chainsaw hand and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
chainsaw. And then in Army of Darkness is he had a shotgun and he's like, "This is my boomstick," and because he goes back in time and like all the people are like freaking out.
He's in like the medieval times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, go watch it. It's phenomenal. One of my all-time favorite comedies.
So another tangent.
Yep.
I don't remember what we were trying to talk about. So I will give you shop updates. How about that?
Oh, we were trying to finish up with the Jordan's question.
Oh yeah, you need it. Maybe we did. Yeah, because you said you
said
the
nose.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what we're getting in the shop. So just got notification that the Katrina prototype fairways are coming.
The Vortex, right? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
I think I don't know. It's FD-ish from what I was on Infinite the other day, and they didn't have numbers for sure, but they said that their best guess was 7.6 minus 2.1.
Okay.
I think that's what they had said because they were just starting to kind of push them, but they didn't have them yet.
I hope so. I keep looking for an acceptable replacement for the FD because the Dong Rebel is there, so I can always get it. But it's just one of those, like, I'm kind of looking for that acceptable replacement for the FD.
Yeah, I'm really curious when that's going to start dropping.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard for now it was, going to be the next disc out of Discmania's lineup, and it hasn't been.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So, and I know that they did the Iron Samurai, and the next so they let it out to retailers that was the order that was going to happen. Mm-hmm. So FD is supposed to be the next one.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Because then it would be nice to get DD3s in the mix. And, so it would be nice because I think it would help bolster a lot of that stuff because people love Discmania in their plastic moves, so it's kind of nice to see that. You also got the special edition riffs, the Katrina riffs, Sparkle or SP riffs. So those are coming in as well. So we got just a few of each of those, but they'll be in. And then Ledgestone Wave 2.
Nice.
It's coming in. So I just got the announcement. And so I did post on IG, on our Instagram, what is coming. So this time we have Glowflex buzzes, Z Glowflex buzzes, Z Glow Banger GTs, Big Z Extremes, Big Z Glides, Z Metallic Ringers, ESP TS Swirl Nukes, Z Swirl TS with tournament stamp, right? Tournament stamp? I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. Yeah, TS. Drone, Z Glow Zones, Big Z Surges, TI Swirl TS Buzz SS's. Holy moly.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. And then we got Z Metallic Predators, Big Z Stalkers, and Z Swirl TS Talons. So we have a portion on our website that is actually exclusively for Ledgestone. It's a whole collection.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Yep. As they come in, we're going to drop them right into there. We can start selling them on the 25th at 6 p.m. online. As soon as they come in, if you're close enough to come by the shop, we can start selling them that morning of. So come on by if you want any. We'll jump on the website, 6 p.m. They'll go off. You can subscribe to our email list and get 10% off. And we'll send you an email before they drop. So there's a lot of that fun stuff you can get on there for. So yeah, that's what we got going into the shop. And then we did get in the the Dynamic Discs order. So those are in, and then I ordered that small order of the Discmania, and those are in as well. Nice. So we just got to populate them on the website, and we'll be all set. And we do have finally got some the disc getter things.
Retrievers.
There you go.
Yeah. The disc getters.
Disc getter thing. I can't remember what they're called. The long ones. The dynamic disc retrievers, but they're the pole ones, not the golden retrievers.
Usually I just ask someone to get my discs for me. I'm like, hey, can you go get that?
Hey.
Pashke, go get it.
Oh, yeah. He's good at that, too. Yeah. And Jordan, the tree shaker.
Yeah.
It's not if Jordan and I can get on a tree and just shake it. A lot of times it'll come out, especially if we're both doing it at the same time. So, yeah, I think outside of that, we got anything else?
No, not that I can think of.
All right. And we pressed record. So you guys will be seeing this on Friday.
Yeah.
So where can they find you?
onenight.owl on Instagram.
All right. And then Instagram, door_disc_golf. Facebook is Door Disc Golf Store. And TikTok now. I don't shake. I don't dance. Well, you might see it.
Yeah.
But, is just Door Disc. Outside of that, hope you have an awesome day. Check out our website, www.doordisc.com, and keep us up par.
Excellent.
Peace.